Hi there, I'm Manav Sinha. Now, if you have about 1.5 crore rupees lying around and you're looking to get yourself a new car, well, you have a lot of options to choose from. You can go for a luxury sedan that gives you that rear seat comfort, or you can buy the slew of new luxury SUVs that keep getting launched every month. However, there is one car that really stands out with no direct competitor in this price bracket. And that car, ladies and gentlemen, is this. The new Mercedes AMG E53 Cabriolet. Now on the face of it, it looks like, well, that well-built premium luxury Mercedes-Benz car with the AMG styling, so you know it has a promise of going fast. However, if you give it about 20 seconds, then this AMG E53 Cabriolet will literally transform into a car that will stand out amongst even cars that are priced 2 or 3 times more than this vehicle. And it has transformed from that luxury sedan that will gel well in traffic to something that will make you the star attraction of a party. Well, let's take a closer look at what it offers. Well, now the feeling of being special carries on to the inside as well. So if I were to, sit here at the driver's seat, well, you'll see that the car has just handed me the seatbelt. And once I put it where it's supposed to go, it'll go back in. Now this is a really cool party trick and will make you look cool amongst your friends whenever they sit inside the car. But with that, let's get on over and talk about the interiors. The cool bits continue when you look at the interior design as well, albeit in a similar fashion. You see, the layout is similar to the E-Class we all know and love. Although, in the case of the E53 AMG, it has got a healthy dose of this carbon fiber finish. Add to that the sporty seats with the red accents, and the package becomes a lot more sportier, feeling at home in an AMG car. Well, this is technically at least a 4-seater, so we have to talk about the rear seat experience. And for that, we have to get in. For reference, I'm 5'10" and I've set the driver's seat as per my height, but I'm going to try to get back in and show you the experience. You basically have a lever here around the seat. You tilt it to the front and it will electronically scoot over to make space for you, but you will realize that it's not quite a lot, especially with the roof in place. But I'm still going to try to get in. I wouldn't say it's the worst experience. And once you're here, you pull the seat back and it will electronically come back to where it's supposed to be. Now, for the amount of space on offer, as I mentioned, I'm 5'10", and the space on offer is, well, decent at best. What you can use this for is to give your rear seat passengers that convertible wind in the hair experience, but for long distances, I'm not sure if this will be okay, and definitely not for more than 2 people. In the middle, you have cup holders. Over here, you've got rear AC vents, different climate zones, so the passengers can set temperatures for themselves. And all in all, it's all right. I don't think anybody will be complaining, however, once you put the roof down or once you're in motion, and given how fast this car goes, I think people will be all right. All in all, at least you can have people seated here, unlike some other much more expensive convertible cars where these seats are basically just to keep your luggage. Well, now that we've come out for a drive, what's the absolute first thing that I would want to do? Is this: fix the headroom on offer to infinity. Now there's one thing I would like to discuss, which is, does it really matter if the E53 AMG does say a 0 to 100 km/h sprint in point some seconds more or less than any other car? I don't think so. Because what's happening is that you have put the roof down, and that changes things dramatically. Because first and foremost, you've got wind hitting your face, and there is no trickery. For example, putting fake exhaust sounds from your speaker or things like that, that can match in giving you the sensation of speed than just plain old wind hitting your face. So you've got that going for yourself. Other than that, with the roof down, what really happens is that everything around you gets amplified. So the tire noise, the wind noise, the exhaust note, for example, everything feels a lot louder. And that, coupled with the wind hitting in your face, well, you have a sensation of speed unlike any other car, and at that point you're not really munching numbers. And as a combined result of everything, all you really have to do is spin this dial, put the car into Sport Plus, drop down a few gears and floor the throttle. Yes! Does it matter what the numbers say? Not really. I've got an amazing exhaust note to accompany me, and I can do silly speeds all day. Yes, that is what the experience is all about. Now the E53 AMG comes with a 9-speed torque converter gearbox, but it's really fast. You've got these really nice paddle shifters that will help you change gears in an instant. And the engine always has power on demand. Because of the mild hybrid system that it's got on board, it gets a small boost at the lower end of the RPM band. And once you cross it, well, that is when the turbocharger takes over and gives you that lump of torque. And that's really nice. Now coming to the handling bit, well, this car is based on the regular E-Classes platform and is of course the drop-top version of the E53 AMG. And there are a couple of things to note from that. First, because it comes from the E-Classes platform, it has a really pliant ride. So if I go up a few gears, go into comfort mode, the car really calms down and becomes this really nice, comfortable luxury saloon that you can do long distances in. But since it's the AMG's drop-top version, a change of mode, some gear shifts going down, pressing the throttle, and it really transforms into a proper performance car. And at that point, it really is leaping into a territory of its own, because it can do those corners and be a comfortable car at the same time, and that combination is quite rare to get. Mercedes-Benz in this particular scenario has nailed it. And really, as for the head turning bit, wherever you go, you are the center of attention. Everybody is looking at you. And if you're someone who likes to have that attention wherever you go, this is something that you will appreciate, because you don't have to be the center of attention everywhere you go, because you can fold the roof up, and at that point it really gels well into the traffic, and it's pretty much of a sleeper performance car situation. Because if there is someone who lines up next to you, like this gentleman, and you want to have an imaginary race, you've won it. You've not only won the race, but with a car like this, you've won in life, haven't you? Now, as for the driving feedback, well, the steering wheel is weighted quite well and has a really good feel and lets you know what the car is doing at any point in time. The chassis is also very communicative, but it's not at a level of a true blue performance car, because, well, you don't have a roof, and as a result, the chassis in itself does not hold the strength as it would have if it was a properly closed car. But Mercedes-Benz has done a great job, and AMG has tuned it really well so that you don't really miss or notice that too much. Additionally, you get adjustable dampers, you get air suspension, so with the touch of a button, the drive quality gets transformed. And what's really good is, despite it being a 3-door drop-top sporty car, the driving feel is not bad at all, because even if you have bad roads or potholes in front of you, the E53 is happy to take them. You don't get that big thud from the suspension into the cabin whenever there is bad road, even when you are in the sportiest setting. However, there is one thing that I find is a big miss. The car does not come with a nose lift system, and that would have been really helpful, because given the ground clearance that it has, you need to be careful while going over big speed breakers. If it had a nose lift system, maybe if you have a driveway where you park or things like that, it would have been a helpful addition. Now, one of the good things and really smart things that Mercedes has done is that they've given this car something what they call as an air cap. So you have this button here, and if I press it, there is a small spoiler that opens up here on the top, and there is a net sort of a thing that pops up from the back. And what it really does is that it pushes all the air that's going above the car a bit higher up, and as a result, there is lesser air coming inside the cabin, so there is lesser wind noise. You don't always have bad hair days whenever you're driving with the roof down. And if you really don't want noise coming in your way of listening to how the car sounds like, well, you can do that. This air cap feature is really, really helpful. Well, now it's time to sum up the E53 Cabriolet. Now, you might have noticed that I've not got too technical in this review. Well, there are a couple of reasons for that. First, if you want a car that's high on luxury, can go fast and can drop the roof down as well, this is it. It doesn't have a direct competitor. This is the only combination that it exists in this price bracket. However, there's another reason too, and that brings me to the start of the video. Because all it takes is less than 20 seconds for this car to transform into something that's so cool that it cannot be matched on the road in this price bracket. I have to say that again and again, because there are a lot of much more expensive sports cars that you can buy too. But getting all of this in this amount of money, well, if you dare to drive a convertible in your everyday driving conditions, this is as good as it gets.